Welcome back to CIA Declassified. Before we begin today's investigation into the Air Force's official public-facing inquiry, Project Blue Book, a critical note to our listeners. The files we explore today discuss the official narrative and rationale behind aerial phenomenon. However, we have previously covered and continue to cover other deeper declassified CIA files that provide confirmation of non-terrestrial biological entities and confirmation of non-terrestrial technology. If you are looking for some of those specific confirmed materials, some of those episodes have the word confirmed in the title, so you could search for those. Today we look at intelligence attempting to solve a mystery not on a computer screen but in the sky. Unidentified flying objects. Our focus is Project Blue Book, the third and final U.S. Air Force investigation into UFOs, succeeding the earlier Project Sign and Grudge. It ran from 1952 to 1969, analyzing 12,618 reported sightings. The primary document guiding our discussion is CIA-RDP78T04758A00270001 0001-6, which confirms the CIA's deep involvement and guidance in the project's strategy and public messaging. The stated goals of Blue Book were twofold. 1, security threat, to determine if UFOs represented a threat to the security of the United States. And 2, scientific potential, to analyze reports for any technical data that might advance U.S. science or technology. The project was led by Air Force officers, but the intellectual heart of the operation was astronomer Dr. J. Allen Hynek. Initially a skeptic hired to debunk reports, Hynek was crucial in developing a standardized methodology for classification, famously including the, quote, close encounters, end quote, scale. The early years under Captain Edward J. Ruppelt were marked by a genuine effort to collect and analyze data. Ruppelt even coined the term UFO to replace the sensationalist flying saucer. Project Blue Book was an open secret, but its methods relied heavily on classified intelligence reporting. The Air Force was tasked with public-facing duties, but the CIA was keenly interested in two primary areas: assessing potential Soviet disinformation and ensuring U.S. experimental aircraft were not mistaken for alien craft. We look at some of the most compelling cases documented in the associated files. The Lakenheath Bentwaters incident of 1956, radar operators and pilots at U.S. Air Force bases in the UK tracked large structured objects performing impossible maneuvers, including objects that appeared to descend from 70,000 feet, hover, and accelerate rapidly away from jet intercepts. Blue Book officially attributed the event to, quote, misinterpretation of weather and radar phenomenon, end quote, a conclusion Hynek later heavily disputed. The Washington, D.C. sightings of 1952, the infamous flap over the nation's capital, saw multiple radar units and pilots track inexplicable objects over restricted airspace near the White House and the Capitol. The CIA was directly involved in the immediate aftermath, which led to the Robertson Panel, a highly classified committee convened to review the entire UFO phenomenon, concluding that the majority of sightings could be explained and recommending an aggressive public debunking campaign to prevent mass panic. The classification chart developed by the project illustrates the hierarchy of reporting, showing that only a teeny fraction of cases were ever truly listed as unidentified. The declassified document CIA-RDP78T047 ... is less a report by the Air Force and more an internal memo to the agency regarding Blue Book strategy and operational status. The persistent and heavy redactions reveal the CIA's true concerns, which were distinct from the Air Force's public agenda. We can analyze two major areas of heavy redaction. Area number 1, specific technology vetting, Section 2A. This section contains a heavily censored list of experimental U.S. aircraft programs and tests being conducted in the 1950s and 60s. Hypothesis: the CIA needed to ensure that unidentified did not mean our own. Redacting this list protects the details of highly advanced classified aerial vehicles, like early designs for the SR-71 Blackbird or various vertical takeoff and landing concepts, that if glimpsed by the public or foreign powers could easily be misinterpreted as extraterrestrial craft. The CIA's role was often to monitor incoming reports and quickly verify if the sighting coincided with a classified test flight providing a plausible, albeit false, explanation when necessary. And 2, Foreign Intelligence Liaison, Section 4B, blocks of text surround liaison with specific foreign intelligence agencies regarding similar aerial phenomenon. Hypothesis: this reveals the coordination of the global denial policy. The CIA was ensuring that U.S. allies, especially in Europe, maintained a consistent public line minimizing the phenomenon irrespective of the actual intelligence collected. More critically, the redaction protects the names of specific Soviet or Chinese intelligence assets or defectors who reported unusual aerial activities over Eastern Bloc territory. The source of that intelligence, often a foreign military radar operator, had to remain completely obscured. As the sightings continued through the 1960s, public criticism mounted. Scientists complained that Blue Book lacked rigor, and the public accused the Air Force of cover-ups. In 1966, the Air Force sought to definitively end the matter by contracting a civilian study. The Condon Committee, Dr. Edward U. Condon, a respected physicist from the University of Colorado, was hired to conduct an independent review of Blue Book's files. The findings: after 2 years, the 1,485-page Condon report concluded in 1968 that, quote, further extensive study of UFOs cannot be justified in the expectation that science will be advanced thereby. End quote. It stated that virtually all cases could be explained by natural phenomenon, human error, or hoaxes. This report provided the scientific and political justification the U.S. Air Force needed. In December 1969, Project Blue Book was officially terminated. Despite the closure, 701 of the 12,618 cases officially remained classified as, quote, unidentified, end quote. A small fraction, but a critical statistical anomaly that keeps the debate alive to this day. Project Blue Book's legacy is defined by its contradiction. It was both an earnest attempt to track an aerial mystery and a sophisticated operation in public information management and denial. The intelligence community's interest in the phenomenon never truly ceased. It simply went deeper underground, shifting from public inquiry to highly sensitive, compartmentalized analysis within specialized agencies, where the focus moved from are they real to what are their propulsion methods. Final determination: Project Blue Book successfully managed public anxiety regarding UFOs, but failed to satisfy the scientific or intelligence needed to explain the residual unexplained cases. The official narrative was sealed, but the classified file cabinets remained open. Thank you for joining us as we delved into the official story and the hidden intelligence maneuvering behind Project Blue Book. It's a compelling look at how the government attempts to control a narrative in the face of the unexplained. Please like this episode and share it with someone fascinated by the history of UFOs and government transparency. In our next episode, we pivot from the unexplained in the sky to the undeniable reality of Cold War surveillance. We will analyze the documents surrounding the Corona Satellite Reconnaissance Program, a joint CIA-Air Force effort that changed the face of the intelligence forever. In our next episode, we will analyze the declassified documents linked to the Corona Satellite Program, CIA-RDP78T04758A00270001 R001800170001-0. This incredible technological achievement, kept secret for decades, involved launching satellites that would photograph the vast territories of the Soviet Union in China and then drop the film canisters back into the atmosphere to be snatched mid-air by specialized recovery aircraft. We will explore the technical challenges in the initial 12 failed missions and how Corona ultimately provided the critical missile gap intelligence that shaped global strategy. Tune in for our next episode for CIA Declassified, the Corona Satellite Program. Until then, remember, maintain your vigilance, question the shadows, and keep your critical thinking sharp. I'll see you in the archive.